La belleza es monstruosa, y lo que a simple vista parece una carcasa bonita, detrás puede ocultar las peores y más crueles torturas con el fin de alcanzar la perfección. Estas son algunas de las claves que hacen de La Hermanastra Fea una de las mejores películas del 2025, pero también... uno de los logros más impresionantes de VFX y maquillaje en el cine, no como esto. Quédate cinéfilo porque yo soy Fer Ramírez y el día de hoy converso con Lyra Myron sobre La Hermanastra Fea, el maquillaje, el concepto de la belleza según Hollywood y la forma en la que aceptamos sufrir con el fin de ser perfectas y cómo romper con la idea de algo bonito a través de algo tan sencillo como un cuento de hadas. How are you, Leah?
I'm good. I'm at the cabin in the woods and it's raining and it's lovely.
It's raining here too, and
Yeah, nice.
so we're technically in the same space right now. I wanted to talk to you about The Ugly Stepsister because from the moment I watched it, I remember telling my friends TV, this is amazing. I love this movie and it resonated so much with me, but not in a horrifying or gross way, but in a deeply sad kind of way. So I want to know, what was your reaction when you first read the script? And then how did that perception change when you saw the final project?
I remember first time I read the whole script, I was just doing a lot of this. You know, I was just really like, I've never ever read any script like this. Also, Norwegian cinema is quite popular these days, but you know, it's Joachim Trier and all these other guys that are making very sentimental movies that are very like down to earth. They're very realistic. We don't have that many movies in Norway that are sort of out there. We also have a society that is quite locked in, and we're a bit like shy, and we're a bit like, oh, I'm not gonna bother anyone else because that's rude. And this movie I felt like was a little punch against that standard, because I also I'm a bit against that way of working in a society. I really believe in human connection and human interaction, and I feel like this movie was a bit of something new in the Norwegian cinema, but also something new about the fairy tale. But you know, it changed a lot during the time from I read it to shooting because of money. But I think the end result was just even better than what I imagined. The one scene that turned out pretty similar is the puking of the worm. That scene was written so well, and it was written like you just saw the whole scene reading it, and you just understood the gore of it, and it was amazing.
I'm very interested in the way you guys achieved that scene.
We did a lot of prosthetic makeup in this film, and we tried to minimize the use of visual effects, because Emilie really likes the appearance of, you know, we have Cronenberg, we have The Fly, you know, all this prosthetic makeup. It's so cool when you sort of see that it's makeup, but it's like it makes it a bit uncanny. But for this scene, so the worm is real. It was made, it's like 15 meters long thing, I think, that Thomas made, which is crazy. He's a crazy artist. And then they also made a prosthetic piece of this part of my mouth, they scanned me, and then they made a mole where I have my mouth open, ready to puke out the worm. So we did a shot of that, where we pulled out the worm from the back, and then we did a template on top of this of me acting on top of this. And so there's a lot of, visual effects was used, obviously, but for me, it was very technical. I had to have a black thing in my mouth with two holes, so an entrance and where it goes out, and it was quite harsh on my teeth, because I had to bite while Alma was pulling, and I also had to act, you know, that all this devastation surrounding, regret and there's shame about even taking that pill, that egg, So it was hard, but it was quite interesting.
Aunque es impactante, este no es el único efecto que utiliza La Hermanastra Fea a su favor para contar una historia sobre lo que es bonito en contra de lo que es hórrido, lo que es grotesco y hasta lo antinatural.
El arte, la estética y cada uno de los detalles que se presentan en sus escenarios sirven como una vía narrativa para introducirte a su mundo, como si fuera un cuento de hadas. Pero claro, arrastrándolo a una realidad que dista de ser lo ideal y que debajo del brillo duele. Y si a esto sumamos el extraordinario trabajo de efectos visuales prácticos, la hermanastra fea no solo transforma el exterior de su protagonista para hacernos cuestionar nuestros propios límites, sino para remarcar cualidades que quizá no son horrorosas, y luego transformarlas en algo que te hace sufrir como espectador, como una nariz rota, por ejemplo.
It is, because I'm also very interested in the way the prosthetics work from the initial version of Elvira, which is an innocent girl, and she's cute, and she has maybe a bit of a crooked nose, but then she goes and has this thing on her face, and then she changes again into this beautiful version of herself, and then again we have the final monstrous version of her after all the things that she's underwent. Can you tell me a bit more about the changes in the makeup throughout the film?
So in the beginning of the film, we tried to make her. We had a lot of different tests on makeup, but I had extra chins. No, I mean chins, and then I have cheeks, extra cheeks, and then I had a nose prosthetic, and then I had also in the ballet scenes I had extra, like a silicone prosthetic on my arms. And then I wore like a bodysuit to make me a bit bigger. But we were very precautious on not making her ugly or like a stereotype of something ugly, because she's beautiful. I mean, we're trying to redefine ugly and beauty, the words in this movie. So it's quite, when I talk about it like this, I mean the stereotypes. But we try to just make her beautiful and cute, and then slowly turning her beautiful. Which is removing this tiny bump on the nose, which I find funny because it's barely noticeable, and everyone's like, you have a gigantic nose, and I'm like, no, she doesn't. Which is also beautiful. Like, big noses are actually Amelia's like little like secret how do you say fetish or something. She loves big noses. So removing that and also making me more, a bit more skinnier. But for me, that's when she's not as, I find her at the ball, I look nice, but I don't think I have any charm or whatsoever. I think the wig but this is just me. So we try to make beauty in a way, we try to just make the audience question when she's beautiful or not, and when she's ugly and why. Like, why is everyone calling her ugly now? Is she ugly now, or is she not? And then in the end, of course, when she's fallen down the stairs and she's broken everything, I find her even more beautiful there than at the ball, because when she realizes that she's lost and that she has to maybe go about her life somewhat differently, I think that's when she realizes also that what she did was maybe not the right thing to do, to be loved, because she wouldn't get loved by doing all these things.
Una historia así no se sufre solo visualmente, sino de una manera emocional. Y es que en realidad es bastante sencillo empatizar con la idea de quebrarse a uno mismo con el fin de encontrar una mejor versión. Por lo mismo, Lia explica que toda la producción sentía un gran cariño por Elvira, y que cada instante en el que su cuerpo es prácticamente destrozado, todos en el set sintieron que la historia se trataba de ellos mismos.
Yeah, it's hard the way we accept torture for the sake of being pretty, according to society's standards. So finally, I would like to know, I love the way the movie switches so much from these tension moments into lighter ones with humor. So I want to know, how was that atmosphere also on set? Because you have so many intense scenes that have people like this all the movie, like me. But how was that lived during the filming?
It was such an intense shooting. I mean, we shot for like 12 hours every day, almost some days 14 hours. It was quite busy. But the people on set were amazing, and everyone was just so respectful of the script and the thematic of the movie, and we just had so much fun. And obviously the more brutal scenes demanded a bit more focus, and also because we were short on time every day. You know how it is to make movies, but during the most intense scenes, I really felt like everyone on set were quite into it. People were really struggling to not be touched by it. It resonates with everyone. Like even the men and older guys or older women, like everyone sort of started to love Elvira. And then in the big end of the shooting, when we did all these horrible things to her, I think everyone felt a bit. It was a tension on set, definitely, because it was a collective love and sadness for Elvira, sort of.
All right. Well, thank you so much for talking to me today, Leah. It is an amazing movie. I already watched it 3 times, and I love it so much. Trust me.
Thank you so much. It makes me happy.
Elvira.
For Guds skyld, låt meg elske din guddommelige kropp uten synd.
Elvira.